Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Yo, what's going on, sports fans? What's up?
USA all the way.
Yeah, they beat Iran. Did you see those guys? They were told by Iran, if you guys don't sing the national anthem, we gonna do something to your families.
I heard it was kind of a snooze fest for a while. I didn't watch it. I heard it was a kind of a snooze fest for a while, but I mean, isn't that what soccer is?
It
can
the
get
ending,
exciting.
It was the ending that was good because we did score. Poor guy, our star guy, scored the goal, and then he got hurt. Two of our good guys got hurt, but
Yeah.
Iran, they came so close, man. The goalie, shout out to the goalie, he did his job, but it was almost, they came very close of tying it, and if they would have tied it, that means that the USA would have been out. But nope, we go on to play Netherlands, which is that's gonna be a tough game. But we got a good team, we got a good squad, young guys. But we did it. We beat Iran.
Woo! So I know one thing I want to showcase real quick before we jump into the big news of how crazy this damn season has been already. I'm going to share my screen. I think that's the right screen. Yeah. So, guys, if you're watching, head over to sports. You'll see it on the ticker here. It's going to be right below Sports Talk 101 every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. That is our YouTube page. We have all kinds of stuff on there. You can watch us weekly there. You can catch up on it if you missed the show. We also have a section now that's for NFL game highlights. So typically after the end of each of the games, I'll be posting highlights throughout every Sunday. That's when I usually get those all uploaded. So I'll have highlights. I'm going to try to get some NBA highlights. The only one we got right now is you just can watch 2 minutes of Larry Bird passes. I mean,
hey, the great
cool.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
And then we've got our shorts. I mean, I know everybody knows this weirdo here, but
what's up, SPG?
And we got SPG at the house. You got the 1972 NFC Championship. If you want to watch that, you can catch show highlights. I don't have very many of the funny stuff yet, but we'll get Ray on there as well. We'll get some good stuff going, but check it out. Hit the subscribe button as well. You'll see all kinds of stuff. And then, you can always find us on Sportscast as well. Over there, you can catch all the old content, new content, clips. They make highlights for us as well, so it's all good stuff.
But most important, people, come in and check us live. We do this.
That's what's even more important is it doesn't matter if you're watching us on Sports Talk 101 on YouTube, if you're watching us on Sportscast on YouTube. We actually have a Facebook page now. We are on so we're on Facebook on Sportscast and Sports Talk. We're on Sportscast on Twitch, Twitter. We're basically everywhere. We cover every aspect of the internet at this point. So there's no part of the internet that you won't find us. I know we will have a guest. I think we have a guest coming on the show next week. That does. He actually was busy this week because he's doing college football. He has a radio show, sports radio show. He does high school sports. He does college sports. So this will be fun to pick his brain and see what he thinks of the NFL, how this season has been.
always cool to talk about some sports and football.
So do we want to jump into the scores real quick and then jump around?
Yeah,
I got a few news articles. Let me pull up the Excel app because that's the quickest way for me to go through the scores. The scores, once again, I don't know how to do anything. Obviously, we had the Thanksgiving games. You know what? This was probably the best Thanksgiving games I've watched in a long time. Would you agree?
I thought they were great. Yeah, I thought they were good.
I mean, they were back and forth. Like the Bills, Lions, that the Lions could have won that one. That could have gone either way. That was an exciting game. The Patriots Vikings game was exciting. I didn't watch the Cowboys Giants because I didn't watch it, but 28-20. That seems to be that's a close game.
That was a close game.
They were all really close. That was the crazy thing is.
This is better than a Thursday night on Prime.
Yeah, it wasn't just field goals back and forth, guys.
It wasn't.
This was actually really good. So Vikings won, the Cowboys won, and we said, the Bills won. Broncos, Panthers won that one 23-10. Honestly, I didn't really see that one coming. And I know
the worst. I think this is the worst trade ever. Is Russell Wilson? That is the worst trade ever, folks. You heard it here.
So we got the Bills. We got the Bills right. We got the Cowboys picked right. You went with the Patriots, and obviously that didn't work out. We both picked the Broncos. I honestly thought that was who was gonna win, and I was not
Broncos.
We both picked the Broncos on that one. Yeah,
I hate Russell Wilson. I can't. Wow,
I know. I don't know why we went. I think it was because.
Oh, you know why? Because I know why.
The Panthers put in a quarterback that hadn't played all season. I think that was our mistake.
Exactly. That was it.
Now you did get the Browns right over the Bucks, and hey, I normally wouldn't say nothing. And Brady tried to get that one back at the end. It just wasn't to be. The Browns better savor that win because it's going to be all downhill. And we'll talk about. I've got some stuff I want to talk about with regards to the Browns later.
I still think the Bucks might win their division now because that division
I do too.
sucks. That division sucks. Hell.
Dude, the NFC South is now what the NFC East used to be.
Exactly. That is like
the NFC East has gotten better over time, and the NFC South has just gone south for the winter and stayed there. They never came back. So let's see. I'll pull this part up so I can see where we got Browns. We both got Jacksonville. Jacksonville came out on top 28-27. That was an exciting finish.
That was a squeaky win.
Yes.
Squeaky win.
And I know we all say, a win is a win, but that was, you don't get any closer than that one. Dolphins dominated again as usual, 30-15. We both got that right.
Yeah.
Now we did get the Bears-Jets game wrong. I picked the Jets. I don't know what else to say. I don't think Flacco's coming back. I know that Zach gave his apology, but Zach, you're done, buddy.
I'm sorry. But White, guy, what did he put up? Like what, 3? First of all,
he put up more.
Shout out to Kevin. Kevin says, "Hey man, you need a backup quarterback. You should pick up White." All right, I'll pick up White. He got me 48 fantasy points. So thank you, Kevin.
He came out of nowhere.
Because it's his moment. Hey, look, let me tell you something. Flacco's old, and Zach just talked himself out when he did the interview. White, This is your opportunity. You seize the moment and go.
And now I get that the Bears were broken. They didn't have Fields. They were, let's be real, they were a mess. But that doesn't mean anything because White could have come out and just thrown interceptions, and the Bears could have capitalized. It didn't go that route.
Honestly, I hate to say this, but I think even if Fields would have played, I think the Jets still would have whooped their butts, man. After watching that game and watching them play, and I thought they had got Corey Davis back. I thought he didn't do anything. It was the guy that says we need to step it up. We need to play. What are we doing?
And we'll dive more into the individual games afterwards. We're just trying to catch up on the scores. Bengals came out on top 20-16. And I went with the Bengals. You went with the Titans. It's another one. They were all of these games, if you notice the trend, they were all close today, this week, which was awesome to see. Washington, 19-13 victory over the Falcons. And do you want to know the crazy thing? You remember where the Washington started, and we all said they were done. Even I was on that.
Mm-hmm.
They're 7-5.
I know they're in it.
We're 7-5.
We
are 7. I don't where we started and where we are now. But do you see the difference? What happened? There, at some point, we were on this trend downward, and at some
Mhm.
point, something changed with that team, and we started to go up. And I can tell you when it happened. It was when this bum ass Wentz got injured. You knew I was going there. But you see the difference. Look what happened as soon as he's removed. Heineke goes in, and what happens? That's a different team. And I've been saying this. I think Wentz is done. I don't care if he's healthy or not. The only way he's going to go in is if Heineke has a complete meltdown and just collapses under the pressure, or he gets injured. And I don't see either of those happening.
But
injury could, but I don't see him. I don't see Wentz getting his job back in Washington, at least.
I can see them probably getting to the playoffs, but I don't see them going deep. I don't see them going deep.
And I don't either. They're not. They're playoff. They're a playoff caliber.
I can see them. I can see them get there. I can see them get there.
I could see them get to the wild card. I could even see them make it to the divisional round. But that's as far as I could see them go. You know what? If we get to the playoffs, I'm happy with a wild card.
Right. I know.
I would be thrilled to see them get an upset win and make it to the divisional. We've seen stranger things. Look, who thought the Giants could go to the Super Bowl?
First of all, at an 8? Who would have thought the Dallas Cowboys, their quarterback goes down, and I was one laughing. We're both Cooper. And what did he do?
We made fun of that, and look where they are now.
Look where they are now. So
honestly, though, we could say that about the entire NFC East division. That whole division, nobody would have pictured that division being one of the toughest divisions in the league right now in the NFC, and it somehow it is. Cardinals Chargers game, 25-24. Chargers came out on top. We both picked that. I did, however, go with the Seahawks, and unfortunately, God damn you, Kevin, and your damn Raiders.
Raiders, baby.
The Raiders got a much needed win. They won 40-34.
Yeah, they needed that. I mean, it was another close one. 40-34.
Every game
that's
we've
close.
So far has been close.
But they need
the only blowout game that we've come across, I think, was the Dolphins Texans and the Jets Browns.
Saints did get shut out. Saints did not score.
13-10. Niners won that one 13-10.
But it was an ugly game. It was an ugly game.
Yeah,
it was an ugly game. But
Eagles
still a shutout.
Eagles came out. Do you know something? That was the last time that they were shut out. You know who shut them out the last time?
Who?
The 49ers did. They actually said that they had the record for the most wins on for so long, and I think I tweeted out some stuff, and I think if you go to our YouTube community tab on Sports Talk, there's some highlights from the Niners game there that I posted. Eagles won 40-33. Jesus, Eagles are 10-1. Holy hell!
I'm gonna ask you a question also.
Steelers later. Came out on top 24-17 Monday night, so I think we're good.
Let me tell you something. They made that guy look like a stud, the Steeler quarterback.
Yeah.
You know why? Because your man don't know how to. First of all, Saturday when you got 3 timeouts, bruh. 3 timeouts. And you have Matt Ryan, who's an old quarterback, you might want to use those timeouts and let your old quarterback get some rest, manage clock management, time management. It is very, very important, And I'm going to give you I don't know, man. He's a player. I can't give him a pass because he should know better. He's a coach. You should know better.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there with that one.
And I like Jeff Saturday.
I do too. But it's learned. Has he been a coach before?
No,
I don't think he has.
No,
but he's gonna have.
He's done the same thing on shows talking about other coaches what they should have did.
I know, and he does the same.
And he does the same.
He did the same thing. I know. So, let me see. I'm going to pull up our Sports Talk page because I know there was some stuff with the Niners that I wanted to bring up. Okay, so Josh,
how we
I got
beat
a
in
couple of
Monday
stats.
nights?
I got a couple of stats. Josh Jacobs leads the NFL in rushing yards right now, 1,159 yards and 9 touchdowns. It's not bad for a team that is what are the
Where did
Raiders
he
right
come
now?
from? Wait a minute, leading? Where did he come from?
I don't know.
I thought it would have been Chubb.
Now, after bouncing back with the Jets are in the AFC playoff picture. Who would have thunk it? Kansas through 12 weeks. Kansas City is number 1. Let me see if I can click this and it'll open the full image. There we go. Okay, so you've got number 2 through 12 weeks. This would be like what the playoff picture would look like. Kansas City's number 1. They would be by themselves. You would have the Dolphins facing the Jets. The Dolphins number 2 facing the Jets, number 7. Bengals are number 6 at the number 3 Titans. Then you've got the number 5 ranked plays Buffalo at number 4 Baltimore.
Are you talking about something we're reading on the screen?
No. I got it on my screen.
Okay, don't worry about it.
It's on our YouTube page. If you go to the community tab on Sports Talk, it's there also. But I'm just looking at and I saw it was on Twitter a while at Sunday also after all these games. But I would not have put Buffalo that I would at the beginning of the season. Would we have said Buffalo would have been ranked 5 through at the 5th spot through 12 weeks? I thought they would be number 1 or 2.
They lost.
Everybody,
they got some losses. You have to put on that list. You got to put Kansas City number 1. You got to put Miami on that list. You got to put the Vikings on that list. You got to put Dallas Cowboys on the list because they're trending up.
So here's another stat that I wanted to say because I was talking about Josh Jacobs. Total yards of offense this week for week 12, 303. Just Jacobs. And then you got like I don't know how accurate some of this stuff was. I was pulling off of Twitter and Jacobs may have tweaked some of that. But I will say with the Niners game, this is what I talked about earlier. The Saints had played 332 games without being shut out, which was the longest active streak in the NFL. Their last shutout before they got shut out this week was January 6, 2002 to the San Francisco 49ers. Oh. So the Niners said, hey, this sucks. Both shutouts have been
they don't have a quarterback, man. I'm sorry.
How about your 49ers defense? How about your 49ers defense? 0 points allowed in the second half of each of the last 4 games.
They shut them down. You know what they did at halftime? They was drinking some Gatorade, and they said, guess what? Shut them down! And that's exactly what they did. Hey, shut them down.
Where was this defense all season, though? I mean, that's impressive. There aren't many defenses that can allow the opposing team 0 points in the second half for 4 straight games. That's tough. That's a tough defense. That's a defense that can easily carry you to the. If you can get the lead in the first half,
we just need point. Stephen A. Smith calls him porn star Jimmy. We just need porn star Jimmy G to just don't just manage the time and just don't throw any crazy passes and we'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Now there was I'll throw a brief college stat note in here. College football. I know there was this big articles on ESPN about Deion was making headlines. Deion Sanders primetime did confirm that he had been offered the Colorado head coaching position.
He don't want to Colorado, man.
There's a lot of people though that say he should not move to a bigger school. He should stay where he's at.
Hell, let me tell you, Deion, you go where the money is, man. Let me tell you something. You know that's what he's going to do. You go where the money is. Look, you've already proven in the black colleges that you can coach. You did your thing. Excellent job with Jackson. It's time to move on. You know what? You know what he wants? He wants an NFL job, man. Look, I've already showed you what I can do in college. I want an NFL job.
Do you think that you could see him in Dallas? I'm not saying head coach, but a coaching position. Do you think we could see him ever with the Cowboys?
No, because it wouldn't be because I'm gonna tell you why. Because you got two egos, and that's Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders, and
Oh yeah.
those two egos would clash, and
Yep.
because he's gonna want to do the team how he wants to, and Jerry Jones, and I'm sorry, but Jerry Jones writes the checks, owns the team, and he's the billionaire. So what he says goes. So I
Yeah.
can't see those two guys. Would it be nice? Yeah, it would
Well,
be.
and I wasn't even throwing like head coach. I was just throwing position coach or something like that to start,
Right.
because there's no way he's going to get a head coaching position. No one would be that stupid. And it's not, I'm not disrespecting Dion on that one. It's just simply fact that you're from a small college school
Mhm.
to go pro. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up. And I think he could do that. I think he could easily. He just needs the chance.
Let me tell you something. If you could give Jeff Saturday,
Yeah, that's true.
if you could look, and let me tell you, where did Jeff Saturday coach at? Oh, that's right. He never been a coach. So
Yeah. So okay, let's just scrap that from the record books. That
all
I
right.
apparently don't know anything I'm talking about. What I do know is that when Washington beat the Falcons, Brian Robinson was all over the place. 8 with almost 20 carries, over 100 yards rushing again. I think we have
I don't get
found
Mariota,
our
man.
running.
I just don't get Mariota. I don't.
I think he's a good backup quarterback. I don't think he's starting quarterback material
I
anymore. He
just
can play. I think
yeah, he can run.
right.
He can run. He can play.
He's a good backup quarterback. I just don't think he's starting material. But I was looking at all the stats across the board,
Mhm.
and it was running backs everywhere again. Like I'm not finding highlights of just passing like we have years, in seasons past with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. It's running backs are just running rampant all over the place.
Well, one is the weather's cold, man.
Hey, and when you're running,
it's-
you're moving.
you moving. So it's them hits hurt, man. When you trying to catch a ball and you jump up and somebody hits you in your ribs, you start thinking about that, man.
Did you see St. Brown with the Lions?
Yeah,
I mean, I know everybody did because he was targeted a hell of a lot of times.
he's the star. He is the star receiver on that
He's
team.
like the Megatron that they had,
I
But
remember, man.
they've got the pieces though. That's what's scary with the Lions is they've
Mhm.
got the pieces there to be a good team and to turn things around. I mean, they're 4-7, but they're putting points up. So they've got the pieces. If they get a good defense, they could be a good a tough team to beat.
I think
Which is
what they
weird to
need.
say out loud.
I think what they need is a tandem. They got to do what Miami did. You got Waddle and you got Hill. That's awesome. In Cincinnati, you got Chase and you got Boyd or Higgins. They need to get a receiver. They need to get
Okay.
they need a receiver.
So I know Kevin's not in the chat, but what are your thoughts? So we were talking Josh Jacobs. So he ran the ball 33 times
Mhm.
for 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging about basically 7 yards a carry. The last runner that I saw that put up over 30 carries and that kind of yards, there was, what was it? Who was that guy last year? Derrick Henry did that.
Derrick Henry
There was a
did
guy
that.
down in Dallas had a running back, and it was
If
not
you
Zeke. It
if you
was
want
not
to
Zeke.
well, if you really want to go back to the days, you had 2K Chris, what the hell was his name? Chris Johnson.
Oh
He used
yeah.
he used to do 200. There was also
See,
the Ravens running back. God, what was his name? He had got 200 and something yards.
Corey Dillon was a power back too back
Corey
in the day.
Dillon, yeah, he was. He was with the Bengals.
I
Then he
mean,
went
but
and played with the
this is
Patriots.
my thing that I've been saying for a long, like last year and even this year is this is where the trend has gone back to. It's the old school power running backs. You're going to see teams are going to be drafting and looking for those backs now that can just run all day. Like, it's not about passing as much. This season has proven one thing: it's not about passing. It is about the running game is come back.
Well, I'm also going to add something because a lot of people forget. Yes, you got to have a good running back, but you also got to have good blockers. And if you got good tight ends also that can block, don't help out the quarterback and stuff like that. That helps out too. But you got to the line. You got to give it up to the old lines, and those are some guys that usually get picked before running backs now in the drafts. You got to get them big fat boys on the line.
Well, look at this past draft. It wasn't quarterbacks. It was linemen. It was offense and defense, which made my heart proud because that's what I like seeing. But not only did Jacobs run the ball, basically he carried that team because he also caught the ball 6 times for 74 yards.
Because you know why? Because
did everything.
I think the last game, I think he didn't do anything, and I think sometimes he's like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
I mean, Dalvin Cook has that with the Vikings. You have an off game, you come back. We've seen Chubb hasn't had that unless the Browns just completely collapse. But
let's give it up. Gino did do 328 yards, 2 TDs. It wasn't like he was a scrub. The Walker, the third, he's a good up and coming running back, but he only did 26 yards, but he did get 2 TDs. Metcalf, he's a stud receiver, 90 yards. Even Devontae Adams didn't get over 100, but he still got 74 yards. But the man of the game was Jacobs.
I can't even share that comment,
Jacobs.
Ron.
Oh, God.
You know what? Oh, damn.
John Washington's girlfriend sent me here. Damn, bro.
Oh,
really?
That's
too soon,
cold.
brother. That's too soon.
So Kyler Murray didn't look too sharp, it seems, in his game back. But who did look good was James Conner. That boy ran the ball 25 times for 120 yards, about 5 yards a carry. So bravo to him. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 catches, 87 yards. Marquise Brown, 6 catches, 46 yards.
He's just coming back from injury too, Marquise Brown. So.
And he still put up some numbers, which was nice to see. Let me see it. You want to talk 49ers? I mean, it was basically, to me, that from what I saw, it looked that was like a defensive game.
It was honestly, truthfully, I mean, it was. Hey, a win is a win, but you want to see just a little bit. You want to see a little bit more. Who was it? The running. Mitchell got 35 yards. Ayuk 64 yards. CMC, he got 32, and he caught 17. So defense, man. It was really the defense. And then Jimmy G didn't throw it. He threw an interception, but it was a penalty on the defense. So he almost had an interception, but they took it back. But dude, they played the Saints. Come on, man. Andy Dalton. Look at look. Alvin Kamara. Come on, man. You remember when he was a stud, 13 yards, but
he's playing like he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I just, what they got to
do. The torches are being passed. It's crazy. I mean, and then you were talking with Mike White. 22. This is his stats. 22 of 28.
Yeah.
So only 6 incompletions, no interceptions, 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. Bam Knight, I don't even care about the last name. He's got one of the best first names I've ever seen. He came out there and just bam, because 14 carries, 69 yards. Mm-hmm. Ty Johnson, 5 carries, 62 yards, a touchdown. Michael Carter, 6 carries, 21 yards rushing. Barrios, 2 carries for 9 yards. White had 3 carries for 2 yards. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches, 95 yards. I mean, that they had all their offense was clicking on all seams.
Yeah,
They
but
had
did
the
you hear
running
the
game was there.
story? But did you hear the stories about what? Like, I mean, I don't even think the Cimarron, or I don't even think he was supposed to play.
No, he wasn't. No, there was a big thing. He wasn't supposed to play. They named somebody else the starter, and then he went in anyways. Or what?
Yeah,
Or I can't remember. Or if
he got
the
hurt.
guy got injured.
He got injured.
Yeah, in warm-ups.
In warm-ups, man.
Before the game started. So I'm not gonna. So I don't want to knock Simeon for that one because he wasn't even supposed to play the game in the first place.
I'm sorry. Next man up. Next man up. I don't care.
Oh my god, dude.
Next man up. Next man up.
All right, let's look at the Dolphins because that was the other big scoring game. Everything else was close. Dolphins. Let's look at their stats.
Houston. What's
Tua.
Houston.
22 with 36, 299 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Wilson. Wow, they had no running game. I'm not even going to go over that because Jeff Wilson had 13 carries, 39 yards. He did get a rushing touchdown, so that helps you fantasy.
No. Look, when Tyreek Hill and Waddle both get 85, I mean,
I know.
I mean,
6. So Tyreek Hill was targeted 9 times. He caught it 6 times, 85 yards. Waddle was targeted 10 times, caught it 5 for 85 yards. And River Crack. I'm just going to go that. I already butchered that. He got it 55. I was like, so you got 85, 85, 55.
Right.
Hey, but you know what? When they did have a fumble,
right?
A few, but the Texans.
Well, first of all, they didn't go with the starter. They had Kyle Allen, 215. When you're averaging 5.5, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win, man.
They had no running game.
No.
Yeah, and they had no running game. That was doomed from the start.
Well, that's why they're 1-9 and 1. 1-9-1.
Basically, essentially, it's 1-10, but we have to say it's a tie, even though we all know.
So this is what they need to do. They used to take that 1-9-1, move that 9 in the front, and go 9-1-1, and get some help. Get some help.
Damn.
Call 911. Get some help.
So let's see. You want to know what I noticed? One of the biggest games, and what I've continued about. I've been preaching about the running game. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts. This is my issue here. So Jalen Hurts, 16 to 28 in passing, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. It's not bad because they ran, right? You would think so. Jalen Hurts, leading rushers, 17 carries, 157 yards rushing, averaging 9.2 yards. Miles Sanders, 21 carries, 143 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell, 8 carries, 39 yards, a touchdown. Boston Scott, 3 carries, 24 yards. My issue here is the fact that your quarterback is leading your team in rushing each game. We have a problem here. Do you need to just change his title as QB /HB? Do we just put QHB because he's a quarterback halfback? Halfback? There you go. I think that sounds good.
Guess what? This sounds even better, folks. 10-1. That's all that matters.
It does.
10-1.
But remember there was another quarterback that used to do the same thing. Put up 153. No, I'm talking. He's still in the league right now playing.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He ain't very good anymore, and he wants money. What's his name? Oh, Lamar Jackson. That's right.
Lamar Jackson. But here's the thing, though. Here's Jalen Hurts, a little younger, but he actually he even runs for the touchdown, man. Oh, touchdown! Your running back done ran it all the way down to the field. He's like, "Hey man, you gonna hike that ball? No man, I need TDs, man. I'm on my own fantasy team. I gotta score. You know, try passing the ball. But that's
But
one
the
thing
thing is,
about
but
Jalen
but
Hurts. But Jalen Hurts who could throw better? Who could throw
Jalen
better?
Hurts,
Okay,
Jalen, hands
yeah.
down. If I was going to have a hybrid quarterback, I would take
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat. That's what sets him apart from Lamar Jackson and why Jalen is a much better quarterback.
But I
Yeah, I
agree.
get he
But I
can
agree.
run.
I agree with you. When these quarterbacks are running, though, they shorten their life, man. As a quarterback because
When
injuries,
you're running the
injuries.
balls, when you're
Yeah,
running the ball, when your stat line for rushing as a quarterback is 17 carries, 157 yards, you are a glorified running back. And the problem with that is when you're running, they can tackle you just like they can tackle a running back.
yeah.
They don't
But
have
you
to
got.
be nice to you
But you
because
know
you're a
what, man?
quarterback.
You play to win the game. You gotta use your
And
strength.
I give it. He's got my respect. He's
But I
earned
would
it.
balance. But
Be,
I would balance it though, man. I would. But
I want
hell,
to.
when you got your running back over 100 and the quarterback over 100,
What does it say about the other team's defense?
they suck. They suck.
Because
Hey,
they allow
hold
you
on.
allow.
Let me tell you what they did. Hey, Sanders. All right, man. You run. Okay. you know,
I
I mean,
remember another quarterback years ago, uh, in a far a distant NFL that we used to have. Um, that was a fantastic runner, but he could also throw the ball, and he was accurate, like Jalen Hurts is. This guy called Michael Vick back in the day was very good with the Falcons. Could run. We know he could run,
I don't know,
but he could throw
man.
as well.
These young guys. I mean, don't get me
No.
wrong. Michael
I'm
Vick
just
was the
saying.
man. He
I'm
was
just
the
saying.
man.
In that era, that's why I said
Yeah,
in a different era.
yeah,
In that
yeah.
era, Vic was the man.
But I also remember when
Jalen
Michael
Hurts.
Vick broke his leg because he was on the cover of Madden 2004, and that leg that was in a
Yep.
preseason game. That was in a
Yep.
preseason game,
Was he
folks.
the same runner when he came back? No. And
Nah, nah.
that's my issue with quarterbacks that think that they can do everything. He's just got to be cautious. If he can do that his whole career, he's going to be untouchable.
But that's why you make the big bucks. That's why you got an agent. If I'm gonna put my body and my life on the line, you gotta pay me the money. You gotta give me the money. That's why
That's my only
Jamar.
highlight.
That's why Jamar. I don't blame Jamar. Get your money, man. Get your money. But
Um, though I'll say
get your money.
with regards to the Eagles, that's pretty much it for highlights. They didn't have nothing else. The Packers, Rodgers, 11 to 16, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jordan Love came in 6 to 9, 113 yards and a touchdown. Honestly, that ain't bad. That's actually really good stats. You came in, even if I don't remember exactly when he came in, what quarter it was, but
Right.
6 to 9 for 113 yards and a touchdown is not bad stats. And he didn't play the whole game. He
Right.
played a short amount of time, but to
Right.
be able to put those kind of numbers, that's like first quarter stats. Imagine if he had done that, but he had played the whole game. They might have actually won that game.
Guess what?
But they also had
That's what they're
running.
thinking. That's what they're thinking.
I know that's what they're thinking. They also AJ Dillon didn't do too bad either. 8 carries, 64 yards, a touchdown.
Right.
That's not bad
See
considering with the passing.
See. This is what just hear me out. This is what I would do. If your man's got busted ribs and he's got a messed up thumb, I would bubble wrap him, hold him, see what love can do. Rest him up, see what love can do, and because he's no good to you if you do supposedly make it in the playoffs, busted up and hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Let's see here. Okay,
But the
so
real question is, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? What, David? What David? Stay off the. You know what, man?
Wilson, get
Wilson,
out of here.
get out of here, Wilson. We love you. We love you, man. You crazy.
We do, but now we're gonna have to end the show on that because I just can't. I'm never gonna be able to look at sports the same ever again. No. AFC standings. AFC East. The Dolphins 8-3, the Bills 8-3, the Jets 7-4, the Patriots 6-5. All four of those teams are playoff capable teams. They're all able to get into the playoffs, which is crazy. The AFC North, the Ravens and the Bengals are 7-4. The Browns Steelers are 4-7. I would say that they're both out of it at that point. AFC South, you've got the Titans at 7-4. The Colts, Jacksonville
Don't
are
even
4-7.
Texans are out. Texans are
No,
out.
yeah, Texans are out. They're done. We're at week 12. We've got 5 more games. I mean, the Colts and Jacksonville theoretically might have a chance at the wild card potentially.
Right.
AFC West, it's basically Chiefs at the top, 9-2, Chargers 6-5, Raiders 4-7, and the Broncos are out.
Just real back at the AFC South, I can actually see the Jacksonville Jaguars jumping over the Colts because they actually have a coach who was a Super Bowl. He won with the Doug Peterson.
Yes.
Won with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got more experience than Jeff Saturday. I can see the Jags hopping over the Colts.
Yeah, I could too. NFC, I'm going to start from the bottom and we'll go from the bottom.
Who did you say in the AFC? What? Kansas City.
The West.
Gonna win that.
AFC
Kansas
West
City.
was Chiefs at the top. We already know that 9-2. Chargers 6-5. Raiders 4-7, and I'm not factoring the Broncos. They're out in my books. I think the Raiders the Raiders once again are another one of those that could potentially somehow make it in logistically. If they won the rest of their games, they could theoretically be hoping based off of other teams winning, other teams losing. It's weird when we get towards the playoff and we're looking at the wild card, who can get in and how they can get in. But stat-wise, they might have a chance. I don't know. It really depends. So then we jump to the NFC. We'll start with the West. You got the 49ers 7-4, so they're at the top. The Seahawks aren't out of it at 6-5. The Cardinals are 4-8. I would say that there's potential, but probably not. And I'm going to say the Rams are out. In my book, they're at 3-8. You're done.
Yeah, the Rams are out.
There's no way that they're statistic. I mean, there's no way that they could get in. Which is
Rams is
sad.
out.
But
I don't even like the Cardinals. But they're not.
It's going to come down to the Niners and the Seahawks. I think the Niners can win the division.
The defense. The defense is tough.
Defense
is what's defense can carry
the Niners defense. Yeah, is what's keeping them alive. We move to the NFC South, and this is what's going to be interesting. Bucks are 5-6.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks winning.
Well,
that division.
The Bucks are 5-6. The Falcons are 5-7. The Panthers are 4-8. As are the Saints. I think the Saints are out. I don't think that they can survive.
You know what though, man? I mean, 5-5, 4-4. I mean, they're still. I mean,
this is the hardest thing is trying to figure this out because technically the NFC South, that's anybody's game. That the NFC South is the hard one to dictate because all 4 teams could have potential to make it.
Right.
We move to the North. The Vikings are 9-2, which I don't got nothing for that one because I wasn't expecting that.
Chicago's out.
But this is what's crazy. The Vikings are in first place at 9-2. They own the division. The Lions are in second place in the NFC North at 4-7.
Over the Packers. Over the Packers. Think about that.
Yes, the Packers are in third. The Packers are in third place, folks, at 4-8, and the Bears are dead last at 3-9 in that division. I don't think realistically any of those other 3 teams, with all of the other conference divisions, I think those other 3 teams in the North are out. I don't see any of them making it.
I agree. Especially you got a hurt Aaron Rodgers. Bears, I mean,
are dumpster fire.
Yeah,
the Lions would be out of those 4 teams, besides not counting the Vikings because we already know they're playoff bound. The Lions have the potential if they hadn't started off so weak. If they had been able to turn it around sooner, I think they could have been in there.
I agree.
We saw but remember the Eagles last year. Where were the Eagles? They were in a similar position as the Lions. They started off weak, they finished strong, and now when we get to the NFC East, the Eagles are 10-1. The Cowboys are 8-3 at number 2. The Giants are 7-4 at number 3, and Washington is in 4th place, but they're 7-5.
I'm gonna tell you something that might just shock you. I honestly, because the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they're 10-1, and yes, their running back and their quarterback did a hell of a job in the last games, they haven't been that great in the last couple of games. I can see. Let me tell you, if they get Beckham, if they get Odell Beckham on the Cowboys, which is rumored.
Yes.
Oh man, you saw it when he went to the Rams. What happened? They went to the Super Bowl.
He sat out for a while. He came in for the playoffs, and they won a Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl, and I'm just saying.
This is the thing. This is what I want to say with the NFC East. With the Eagles, we're at week 13, so you got 4 weeks left.
Right.
You got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, 5 weeks. 5 weeks of football starting this with Thursday. Potentially, the Eagles, if they lost a few more,
mm-hmm.
and either the Cowboys or Washington has the potential. They could win the division. And as strange as that sounds, I know they're 7-5. That where did that come from? The Giants are starting to cater. They're starting to the fissures have now turned into cracks. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Washington has won the last 3. Dallas has won the last 2. Eagles have won the last 2. But the Eagles have gotten by running their quarterback.
And that's the thing. So, are you saying that they can get another couple of streaks? They can win another couple of games.
I think this is what my prediction will be. Is mm-hmm. Even though the Eagles are 10-1, I think the division title is going to go to either the Cowboys or Washington. I think it could be one of those two.
Well,
I think the Eagles are going to. Well,
I hate to tell you this, but Christmas Eve, and we talked about this before the show, folks.
Dude, we talked about this We talked about this last season, at the end of last season.
Christmas Eve.
That's going to
be Washington's
coming to game.
Coming to Santa Clara, baby. Woo! The Niners.
But the thing is, remember when we talked about it at the beginning of the season, we had a different Washington team than we do now. But we also have a different. This is a different San Francisco team that we had from week 1 to week 12. This is different teams. Both of them are different. So I think this could actually be a really good game. Mm-hmm. Where at the beginning of the season, I think I would have gone with the Niners favored to win it. I don't know now because this is going to be a really good test for both teams' defenses. This is going to be a defensive battle, I think.
I agree.
And for San Francisco to win, we know what it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be, if they lose, it's going to be more than likely, I hate to say it, but it's going to be some bonehead play that Jimmy does. Which we know he has a tendency to do.
But I can see a lot of Bosa. Also,
and on Washington's side, you got Chase Young,
Mitchell, Debo, and CMC. Now, you guys got some running power too. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is not a game that I would have.
I think it's going to be a battle of running backs. I think this is going to be the battle of the running. I think this is going to be the battle of the running backs.
Yeah, but my thing is, I think San Francisco I don't know who to pick for a division winner in the NFC East. I think, but my thinking is it's going to come down to either Dallas or Washington. I don't think Giants have it, and I think if the Eagles, if they finish out strong and they finish the season with wins, they're going to win it. It's hands down. But if they start to falter, and Washington or Dallas continues to win, then it could be anybody's. And even with the Giants, even the Giants, that division could go to anybody, which it's always been that way. But this is a different division now because they're all winning.
Amen.
They're all over 500, which is crazy.
Zeke Elliott got 92 yards and a touchdown. And him and Pollard, I mean, if Zeke starts running, and then you got Pollard running.
Yeah, and Zeke I don't want to say he's a good running back. He has his moments when he gets going, but he also plays like Randy Moss. I don't want to do that anymore. He kind of gets that diva mode every now and then where he doesn't want to do a whole lot. But that's where Pollard comes in and says, "All right, give me the ball."
Right.
Zeke, hold my beer for a minute. I'm gonna show you how running back does things. So news-wise, there hasn't been a whole lot. I know Rodgers says he's going to be on the field Sunday to play when they take on the Bears. I think that's a stupid move. I don't think that's a smart decision.
I wouldn't. He got. I mean, he's got a. What do you want the rib to break and go into his lungs? I mean, he can seriously get. That's what he was worried about. That's why he got taken off the field, because he thought he didn't want to puncture a lung with a rib.
They said Love looked solid light on Sunday. The fact the Packers have a bye in Week 14, God, that's crazy that there's still buys for teams that far into the season.
Wow.
And their 4-7 record, losing 7 of the past 8. There had been talk that Rodgers could miss at least the game against the Bears, if not longer. Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and said, "No, that's not happening. We'll go to one of my favorite places down in Chicago and hopefully get a big win, get into the bye, get healthy, and." He thinks that's what's going to happen. It said, this is the best clip out of this whole article. Facing a decimated Bears defense that made Mike White look like Joe Montana on Sunday.
That's why he wants to. That's why he wants to play the Bears.
Yeah, Rodgers should be in for a bounce back day against his rivals after a year of struggles. You know what his struggling reminds me of? As bad as he has struggled all season long. Do you remember Brett Favre's final season with the Vikings? His final season in the NFL?
Yeah.
Dude, the similarities are uncanny.
I mean, he can look. He threw some good passes in that game.
I'm not saying that he can't. He can still play. He can still
but
throw.
He's not the young Aaron Rodgers.
He's
even Brett Favre, when he was old, he still could sling the ball. But he got
Rodgers. This is not the 2-time MVP Rodgers that we saw the last 2 seasons. This is a banged up, hurt up Rodgers.
He's injured. I mean, you need your thumb to grip the ball, and you got ripped. You can breathe, and it's cold.
So the other thing that I saw, there was an article that came out. And this is about the Browns, that the Browns are going to play the Texans in Houston, and their great starting quarterback, the savior of the Browns, Deshaun Watson's going to be starting. There was an attorney that was representing almost all of the women that accused him of what he was accused of, that he didn't deny. Mm-hmm. He just paid. He accepted the guilt, said, "All right, I'll pay this off, do this, this, and this," which means you're guilty, mother effer. But I think it's Busby, whatever his name is, that the attorney said that he has a suite for that game, and 10 of the women that accused Watson will be at that game to watch him play. And I'm like, okay, that's are you going to protest? But my thing is, you bought us for the attorney, and I'm not praising Watson here because I don't even think he should be in the NFL. But I don't know how is this really going to affect Watson. You're in a booth, a suite way up here. Watson's way down here playing on the field. He ain't gonna be looking at the booth. He should be. What he should be.
What if he goes blows kisses up at him? That's gonna be messed up, man. That's gonna be messed up. That's gonna be messed up.
Now, I would love to say that he will focus on the game. I hope that there's a Texans. No, I'm not going to say that. I won't say anything that. I hope that a Texans player doesn't try to just destroy him on one hit. A chop block to the back of the knee or something. I wouldn't want to see that happen. Nobody in the NFL would want to see that happen and him get injured and be done. And then the Bears are like, or the Browns are like, "Oh, that money is gone." I don't want to
knock some sense into him, knock some wind out of him. Do something,
Well, knock some wind. Shit, he might not. So the other article that I came up on was Jimmy G is going to be a free agent in the offseason.
Yeah.
And there are 3 teams. There was an article on the NFL. David Carr, of course, wrote this one. Said 3 teams that should be in the market for Jimmy. Let me see. I got to go down.
Jets. I heard somebody said, man, we would love Jimmy to come down to New York.
So the desirable market, San Francisco's in this list. I don't see it happening. I don't see them keeping him. But the Jets are on the list.
Yes, I knew that.
Which wouldn't, it wouldn't surprise me, because who's the head coach? Pretty sure he's got connections there with 49ers. Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
And Mike LaFleur. And actually LaFleur worked with Jimmy as an offensive passing game coordinator. And especially since Zach Wilson opened his big fat mouth and threw the entire team under the bus, I'm pretty sure Flacco is not going to be there. He may be done.
He probably going to retire.
The Saints are on that list as well.
The Saints need a quarterback.
Well, and they've got Winston, they've got Dalton. Dalton's done. Dalton needs to just.
He has now been designated to back up. I know everybody screams out Jason Hill, but he's
Taysom. He proved though that he wasn't capable of it though.
Right.
That's the sad thing.
But you gotta have
what he does. But what he does best is being a hybrid.
Yes.
Going all 3 positions. He does best that. I don't think that they should get rid of him, because I think he fits perfectly with that. But who know? We won't know until the end of the season, where players are going to go and things like that. So it's going to be interesting, because there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks in the market. Again, Jimmy's going to be available. Andy Dalton's going to be available. Joe Flacco's going to be available. So, I mean, who knows where people are going to end up?
Right.
Hell, Zach Wilson might be looking for a new home.
Yeah. Well, look, man, we got to do our picks.
Oh, yep. If there's, you want to talk a little more soccer or anything coming up while I get the old spreadsheet set up?
Yeah, while you're getting the spreadsheets up, I will talk.
There wasn't much else to talk about.
Well, first of all, woo, the USA. We beat Iran, and 1-0. And I'm, as an American, I'm extremely happy. Even President Joe Biden called in and said, "USA, USA." So also England eliminated. I mean, Wales is done. They beat Wales 3-0. And then the Netherlands, which the USA will be fighting the Netherlands, I think Saturday. They beat Qatar 2-0, and then Ecuador got beat by Senegal 2-1. But I am extremely happy that the United States finally. We're getting there. We're getting there, and I think we have got a chance to go through. And but that's what's going on in the World Cup right now. So guys, England's in there, USA's in there, Netherlands. Yep. And
almost done.
Almost. So, and yep. I get up early in the morning to watch the World Cup, and it's been fantastic seeing what's going on and stuff like that.
Sportscast. Make sure to tune in.
Exactly.
They've been doing coverage literally every single day. San Diego has been on there with different people talking, but they have had a show almost every day. They had one today.
Instagram. Check out Sportscast on Instagram, on Twitter. We're everywhere, folks, and they're all constantly pumping out information of what's going on the Twitter and on Instagram. So check that out.
All right. There we go. We're done here. Let's see. Drag this over here so I can see. Okay, so picks. We've got Bills at the Patriots.
Bills at the Patriots.
Yes, in New England. This is going to be, I don't know what the weather is going to be, but it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be snow. Not as much as Buffalo got, hopefully. I'm sure they're hoping not, but.
I'm going with Buffalo. Going with Buffalo
Yeah,
to beat
I
New
am
England.
too, just because I know it's in New England. Usually that would be a thing, but I don't know. Patriots, and they may surprise us. Who knows?
Pittsburgh and Atlanta.
Oh, look at that! So former Super Bowl ESPN just gave me an alert. Former Super Bowl champion quarterback Trent Dilfer is expected to become the next head coach at UAB.
Oh, okay, all right, way to go, Dilfer.
All right. A deal hasn't been formalized yet, but the sides are likely to come to terms in the upcoming days. All right, there we go. I liked him. He was a good quarterback. Okay.
Good analyst.
Steelers at the Falcons is the next one.
Who you going with?
Oh God, I think I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. I don't know.
I think Pittsburgh did good because last time because they went against the Colts and they had a quarterback that just didn't manage the time right, and he's still trying to learn. They got to pass. I think Atlanta. I think their running game is going to hurt Pittsburgh. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta against Pittsburgh.
All right, so we'll both go on Falcons. Broncos at the Ravens. Oh, I almost want. I don't even like picking the Ravens half the time, but I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one.
Definitely go with the Ravens. Go with the Ravens.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we went Broncos, and we saw what the Panthers
Seahawks.
Did to them.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself making that deal with the Denver. You robbed them, gave them Russell, and you knew damn well. What the hell?
Yeah, y'all knew what you was doing. The next one is the one we were talking about. Packers at the Bears. I almost want to say the Bears. Because Rodgers busted up. I don't care if he says he's fine and there was nothing wrong with his x-ray. All it's going to take is one hit. But the concern then is if Jordan Love comes in, can he turn them around? Which I think he could, though. That's the thing.
I'm going with the Packers because I think they're gonna numb him up, give him some shots and whatever. And I think he, I mean, come on, y'all know the history with the Packers and the Bears.
It's the Bears. The Bears are just a dumpster fire. So I'm going Packers on that one, and it hurts.
Okay.
But the next one is a tough one, I think, because this could be a difficult one.
I think go for it.
Jacksonville at Detroit.
They're both 4-7 teams.
Yeah. And they both got talent. That's the other thing.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I went with Jags last time. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit.
You're going Detroit? All right. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. Because
I
think it could go either way. I honestly think it could go either way.
I agree. I just think Detroit. I think Detroit.
All right. Browns at the Texans. I almost want to say Texans. Oh man, because wouldn't that be something for the Texans to win that game?
Browns are gonna win.
I know they are. Part of me wants
they don't even need the quarterback. I mean, they got Chubb, they got Hunt, they got Cooper. I mean, they got weapons.
I would love to pencil in there and say that it would be the Texans, but I know that's not going to happen. The next one, Jets at Vikings. I'm going Vikings on that one, and it's just it's nothing against the Jets. The Jets are doing way better than I think anybody would have thought. And I think they're going to continue to get better. There's something about the Vikings this year that I just don't know that the Jets can beat them.
Definitely going to go with the Vikings.
Oh, I put Redskins at Giants. Whoops, it's actually Let's say Washington. I mean, a little too late. I already said
Commanders.
it. Washington at the Giants. I'm going Washington on that one.
Going Giants.
All right.
Going Giants.
Division rivals. It'll be interesting to see.
Exactly.
Titans at the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm going. I want to say Eagles, and I don't know how many more times I can pick the Eagles before I know that somebody's going to beat them, and it's going to end up going downhill for them. But I don't know if the Titans can top the Eagles.
I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles, man. I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
King Henry, I don't know, man. He's like a hit or miss. So
Seahawks at the Rams, and I'm going Seahawks on that one.
see,
I don't really need.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks.
I think the unfortunate thing is that the Rams are done this year. Dolphins at the 49ers.
I'm gonna let you pick this one first. I'll go after you.
Part of me wants to say the Dolphins, but the Niners defense. This is a different Niners defense. This is a defense I don't want to go up against, and I don't know if Tua is ready for that. And I've been praising Tua. I gave him a hard time from the moment he got drafted. He is much better, but I'm going Niners on this one. That defense I think is going to be too much for the Dolphins.
You ever had a Tua sandwich? Not tuna, a Tua sandwich. Because that's I
hear Bosa's going to have one.
So and don't get me. Hey, Miami is an outstanding team, but I'm going. You know, I got to rock my Niner defense on this one. Go after Tua.
Oh, I think they will. Next up, Chiefs at the Bengals. I'm going. KC, I got the Chiefs on that one.
KC. I'm going KC.
Chargers at the Raiders.
Oof. I'm going Chargers. I'm going with Herbert, man. I'm going with Herbert.
I know. I want to
go with Herbert.
You know what? I'm going to be the oddball. I'm going to go Raiders on this one.
Okay.
Because I think that's another one. If Josh Jacobs has another outstanding game, it's going to tilt towards the Raiders. But like you said, Herbert's a beast. So they've got the talent to win it. Right. Sunday Night Football, Colts at the Bucks. Colts at Cowboys, not Bucks. They were on my list.
Going with the Cowboys. And
so am I.
Jeff Saturday, I love you, but dude, I just think
I'm sorry. The Cowboys are gonna eat them Colts alive. They're gonna round them Colts up and put them right in the penthouse.
I just don't know what Jonathan Taylor's gonna do. Is he gonna have a 100-yard game? Is he gonna what are he gonna do? You know.
And then the next one, Monday Night Football, Saints at the Bucks.
Going with the Bucks.
I'm going Bucks on that one. The Saints Bucks. Saints are a mess.
I heard the radio. Tom Brady says he sleeps at night and he thinks about the loss, and it really affects him. This loss affects him. Any loss affects him. But I think, I don't think he wants to lose.
Remember his kryptonite had been. What team has it been since he's been in Tampa? His kryptonite team was the Saints.
Right.
Didn't matter how good the Bucks were. He always struggled with the Saints. And to end the show, guys, I will say one other piece of news that I came across might have been yesterday. I heard that there's rumors that a former Super Bowl winning coach is possibly coming back next season, which would be Sean Payton. And there were a couple of teams that he mentioned, and it was not the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. News. Let's see. Okay, so Cardinals. The Cardinals were one of them, which was interesting. Arizona was linked, but as well, and I know there was another one. I don't remember what the other team was. because I can't seem to find the article that. Oh no, the Chargers. That was the other team. The two teams that he's linked to are Arizona and the LA Chargers.
Well, hey, if the Cardinals don't make it to the playoffs, then yeah, they're gonna fire him. And hell yeah, I would take up Sean Payton. I take him.
Well,
He's
remember though, Kingsbury was signed to a multi-year extension this past offseason. So he's not that they can't break that.
They could break it and just pay him.
No, I know that, but honestly, I'd rather see him in with the Chargers. Could you imagine what he could do with that talent?
Something about Herbert.
Yeah.
But see, they're doing good. The Cardinals, they got Andre Hopkins, they got Kyler, they got Marquise Brown, they got talent. They just ain't got.
Well, so
and then
there were multiple.
There were multiple. Study.
Yeah, there were multiple NFL analysts with ESPN speculated about a week ago. The Chargers might replace Coach Brandon Staley with Sean Payton this offseason. The guy that wrote this said his guess is Staley stays 2 more years minimum. Dean Spanos doesn't seem to have an itchy trigger finger, nor does his son. So it doesn't seem that one. The Cardinals but the other issue with this whole thing is he's still under contract with Peyton is still under contract with the Saints.
Money.
So they would have to actually, right? It would either be money or trades. It's not like you can't trade a coach. We've seen. I mean, it's been done before. It's not a
done. Yeah, they
it's
did
not
it in
normal.
basketball. They've done it.
I mean, it's been done. It's been done in sports. So it says because they have a franchise quarterback in. Okay, so let me see here. So Arizona was linked to Sean Payton in a recent report, but they signed Kingsbury to a multi-year extension, and it feels unlikely they'd part ways so soon. Still, stranger things have happened, which we all know this is the NFL. Because they have a franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray, maybe Payton would sign off on a trade, sending that number 7 pick back to New Orleans, since he wouldn't necessarily be shorthanded. Because there are picks there that everybody has, so
right.
It will be interesting to see. I think that between all of the free agents, quarterbacks, and other stuff that are out that are going to be hitting the market, I'm sure there's going to be other things. We always know that when the offseason happens, there's going to be blockbuster trades. I think head coach wise, Peyton's going to be the one that's going to be the big one that people are going to want to go after. But with that being said, guys, we are all out of time. You can find us here as the sports ticker down below says. Sports Talk 101 is every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, with me and Ray. Our website, youtube.com / Sports Talk -101. You can find us there. You can watch all our old content. You can watch game highlights every Sunday. So if you missed certain highlights or you just want to rub that highlight in the face of your friends, go to our page. Sportscast 101. Sportscast is also on YouTube. Make sure to follow them. Show them the love. Exactly. They are live like literally every day. They've got
other colleagues FIFA as well.
Yes. Exactly. We've got shows on Thursday nights. Victor and Byron talk Giants football. Well, Byron talks every football. Victor is a Giants fan. So he talks Giants football. So we got more football there. There's college football on Sportscast. We've also got NFL, other people that talk NFL highlights. San Diego does highlights Monday afternoons. And they've been doing the World Cup stuff literally every single day. So tune in there. Follow Sportscasts on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Follow Sports Talk 101, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere. And we'll have more stuff. We're going to get more shows and ideas. I'm going to run, probably during the off season. We'll figure some other stuff out to do, especially when it comes to next season, or even with the playoffs. We might do watch parties with the playoffs and just host it, and we'll just have the stats and we'll watch and talk and just basically get and chill and hang out and watch football, playoff football every on Sundays or Saturdays or whenever the hell it's going to be, because who knows what'll happen. But with that, we're out of here. We're all out of time. We'll see you guys next week. It's been fun. Peace.
Peace.